What's up, Instagram? You guys are first for go is Instagram. Now we are also live on StreamYard. Got a little Palo Santo to cleanse the space and prepare us for a deep dive today into receiving intelligence and transmission from your Akashic records. Welcome, everybody, to Akashic Answers with Emily. Please say hello to me. Once you get here, I am coming to you today from the High Sierras, and I would love to know where you are joining from as well. I also want to give you another invite as we're starting today, and that is just place your hands on your heart and take a moment to drop in. Check in with yourself. How are you feeling? What do you need? How do you need you to show up for you right now in these moments? This is an area where we give away a tremendous amount of our powers by not checking in with ourselves and making sure that we are keeping our own vibrational frequency. Well, hi, Apollo. Are you joining today? Keeping our own personal vibrational frequency as close to a state of peace, love, and joy as possible. When we hold that state of peace, love, and joy, this is the state of the 5D. This is the state of miracle consciousness. And if you are looking to make shifts and changes in your life, which I hope you are, I still am. I hope you have dreams and goals and visions that require you to grow into a new version of yourself. And if that's the case, you're in the right place. I'm glad you're here. Hi, Mama. I got Mom in the house. Terry Todd coming in. Lindsay, I see you. Hello from Dubai. Kira. So happy to see you all. All right. So if this is the first time you are joining, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Emily Harrison. I'm the founder director here inside the Akashic Academy. I work with visionaries and thought leaders, training them to tap into the world of infinite intelligence. Super conscious intelligence, the intelligence that created all that is. And when we learn how to tap into this space, we have access to understanding our patterns. And a lot of our patterns are happening subconsciously, our ways of thinking, how we feel, what we do. And the vast majority of this behavior is coming from our trauma that hasn't been processed, areas where we've gotten our feelings hurt from a slight little bit, like you got embarrassed in 6th grade math class, to massive amounts of shame. Like I personally, what that looked like in my life was before I did this work, I was a Hollywood actress and I took a job one time that I knew that I didn't want. I was not in soul alignment by taking this job on a soap opera. No offense if you love soap operas or if that's an experience that you've had in your life. And I ended up getting fired from that job, and it was pretty humiliating for me because it was the biggest rise that I had achieved at this point in my career, and it created some trauma, some damage that I had to do, damage to my divine blueprint. Actually, can we damage our divine blueprint? Meh. Depending on how you look at it, you can create blockages for yourself for the point of learning, but there's always the opportunity to restore our divine blueprint. And that's an area where I needed to work to restore my divine blueprint after that experience so that I could have success in other areas of my life. Apollo is just, you're killing it up in here today. Your friend Peter's here. Peter, look, we got the big cat in the house. All right, so working with the Akashic Records has allowed me to make incredible shifts and changes in my own timelines from previous jobs. Oh, I've got so much cat hair on my lip gloss right now. Yeah. All right, this is gonna be a fun rest of this show. How many of you all are looking to shift timelines and create a new career for yourself? You don't feel happy or satisfied in the career that you're in right now. Yep, I see you guys. I see you. This is an incredible tool, meaning the Akashic Records are an incredible tool that help reveal our life purpose and our mission. Lynn, yep, I see you. I'm going to hold space for you, Lynn. Generally, Veep, yep, I see you. Those of you who are experiencing this desire for reinvention, by the way, you are wisdom keepers, you are trailblazers, you are bringing in codes of the new earth, of reinvention, of higher levels of freedom for humanity. We do the work first for ourselves, and then we do it for the greater good. Okay. I see Austin. I see Nevada City in the house. I shared I was coming to you from the high Sierras. We've got St. Louis in the house, Oregon in the house. When we begin to see and make these connections, what happens is we begin to feed each other with strength, energy, encouragement, wisdom for self-empowerment, to take responsibility for the areas of our life where we're maybe unconsciously, we're not purposely creating dis-ease or disharmony in our family lives or in our relationships. Whether your relationship is with another person that feels disharmonious, or your relationship with money feels disharmonious, you're creating that. I'm creating that. But the great thing is, once we recognize that and we take full responsibility, then we get to create something new. And the records show us the hidden patterns, what's unseen in our field. You know, it's hard to see the forest through the trees, right? So the records have helped me and many of my clients figure out what our soul mission is and how we fully step into that. Good. V's lighting up my chat box here with questions. Let me go ahead and give you that directive now too. Lynn, thank you for sending your question in on Instagram. I'm going to get to both of those. Those are good. Everybody else, send your questions in. Start typing out your questions. I'm only going to talk like this much more, and then we're going to get into some channeling and calling through transmissions from the Akashic Records for all of us to receive today. I want to share with you, here's what it's going to look like. We're going to jam for about the next 30 minutes here. I'm going to encourage you to stay for the whole thing. First, trust your higher self for bringing you into this space. There is a nugget of wisdom that's going to come in that will be meaningful to you. That's why your higher self, your divine guidance will bring you into this space. And it may not come from your actual question. It might come from someone else's question. But I encourage you to type your questions in, be brave, be vulnerable, share where you are wanting healing and shifting and changing in your life. Because even if it doesn't get addressed here on the show today, I promise you that the intelligence will drop in. That is the anointing of this space, the Akashic Record, also known as the Book of Life in the Bible. Okay, so you can use it to discover soul mission and purpose. I also help my clients use it to figure out why they've created dis-ease in their health. So you can activate self-healing. We all have the ability to self-heal. Like I said, you can't really damage your divine blueprint. You get to turn it back on and operate from it if you choose to. So let's play a little bit here together today. How about, okay, let me get one final little itch down here from all that Apollo hair on me. I'm going to mess up my makeup. All right, so I'm going to start here on Instagram. Lynn Marie says, an old agreement that we must remove so that a new agreement can be inserted, right? Yes. Okay. So Lynn, I believe what you're referring to is the story of getting fired that I was telling. And what happened in those moments of that shame and that humiliation was I created a soul contract with myself, meaning on the subconscious level, I said, if this is what success looks like, keep it. I don't want it. And in order to break through and have success in this new incarnation of myself, or anyone, any incarnation of myself for that matter, however I wanted to reinvent myself, this success ceiling would follow me into the new lifetime. It's kind of like karma from our past lives following us into this life. Well, we had enough to deal with in terms of how many past lives we've lived in this life and how much karma we've accumulated. And as we are expanding into this new earth, this 5D experience of reality where we have the ability to manifest, it's not that we don't have the ability. We already have the ability. We're just figuring out and remembering how to use it and how to use it accurately every single time. So we know how to use it to create peace, love, joy, abundance for ourselves. We're not fighting amongst each other. We are collaborating over competing. And that's the transition that our planet is making as a whole right now. It's going to look individual and different for each one of us. But what's the same is we're going to be invited to see our potentiality and invited to step into it, which requires leaving the old limiting aspects of ourself and old versions of ourself behind. But if you're here today, you're being invited to up level in some way. And yes, you may have made a soul agreement with yourself that you need to shift and change. I can't tell you if there's one medicine for shifting soul contracts that will work for everyone here. This is an area where I use the Akashic Records to ask for unique and very specific medicine. And what my guides showed me was they mixed modalities. How many of you know a lot of different modalities out here? Send me an emoji in the comment if you are a light worker and you know a lot of modalities. What's cool is the Akashic Records allowed me to tap in and pull pieces of Ho'oponopono, tapping, EFT tapping, wisdom from Chinese medicine that shows or reveals to us that our soft tissue holds somatic memory. And I began to work to release these energies. And within 8 months, I quintupled my income. So if you can get a unique protocol for you that's going to work, go for it. Okay? And that's actually not something that we can dive into here on the show, getting unique protocol for each one of you. But I will invite you, if you want to explore what that looks like with me, you can reach out and we can talk about what a potential program would look like where we could get that information for you. Okay? I will take you through, though, the medicine quickly that the guides shared with me to clear. We'll clear as much as we can right now for any of you. So I want you to think about what old pattern are you pulling up? Do you want to release an old pattern about yourself? And if you feel a little confused about where to work, maybe you're new to this work, explore an area of your life where you feel like you're in lack, because this is not our true state. Our true state is divine abundance and ability to source and resource everything that we want and desire around us at any moment. Now, you might think that that would make us a bunch of spoiled brats, but there is some, I should say some, what should I call them? It's not really protection in the Akashic Records. It's sort of like protection, but you don't get access to that level of power until you do the work on yourself. Remember, I talked about holding that frequency of peace, love, and joy. You must hold a very high vibrational frequency of self-love, which will transform your life, radically increase your power to create. But when you truly love yourself, you're going to also love other people, and you will naturally desire what is in the highest good for every person involved. And the manipulation aspect of how the records can be used for ego and manipulation, that ceases to exist because we must do the work at this level. Cool. All right, so I'm going to take you guys through. We're going to start tapping on the lungs. This releases sadness, any sadness that you're holding from that old pattern. Okay, so think about what pattern of lack that you're in. Getting warmed up here and getting to second base with ourselves. Oh, you know you like it. Come on. All right, before we begin, I also want you to think about what you want to transmute this pattern into. We're going to be using the energy of the magician here. Ho'oponopono is transmutation energy. It's energy of the Melchizedek, Merlin lineage, this magician lineage, Hermes. If you are interested in learning more about the archetype of the magician, I definitely want to share a gift with you all today. All right, let's go though. Let's do this first and then I'll talk to you about the gift. I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, and thank you. Okay, go to the heart. I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, and thank you. Heart's where you store the unforgiveness, so that's what you're releasing right now. Move down to your belly, your stomach. I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, and thank you. Stomach's where you store worry and anxiety, so you're releasing that. Any worry and anxiety that you've held over the years from being imprisoned to this pattern of lack is now releasing. Moving now to the back body, we're working on the kidneys, gentle tapping on the kidneys now. I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, and thank you. Okay, and then we're going to move down to the liver, down to the right lower hand side. Liver's where you store the anger. So we're releasing this anger now. Some of you have generational anger. You might be like me. I had a lot of that. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me and thank you. Good deep breath in. Exhale with an audible sound. Wow. Wow, that's a great sound to release. It's Sanskrit. Cool. Okay, just notice how you feel. You feel light, you feel tingly. Just notice, just notice. The energy feels different. The environment feels different in a new timeline. See if you can detect it. All right, V, I see your question here on StreamYard. Could I please request a healing with the divine masculine and open myself to receive love, to receive being protected and provided for? Yes, ma'am. All right. This is a safety and a trust issue that's coming up, V. And whether you are masculine or feminine, we all have masculine and feminine energies at work within us. And we are at a state right now where we are rebalancing. Since the fall of ancient Egypt, we have experienced a rise and imbalance in the wounded patriarchal energy being at rule and suppressing the divine feminine energy. You do that within yourself. I'm not trying to give the men a bad rap here. I actually thank you for all of you souls who have incarnated as masculine right now on the planet, because you have a really big job to do as you are restoring this, and you do it through your own personal experience, and you experience radical shame and defeat and anger and violence that you have to transmute. You have to leave that old way of you behind and step into something new, and it's a tall order. All right. There are a lot of women here on the planet that are here to be restoration chalices of the divine feminine energy, the part of us that is intuitive and that can heal and that has incredible vision. And because that energy was suppressed and just mutilated is the word that I'm hearing in my field right now, from suppressing the idea of witches or soothsayers or oracles, or honestly, even sex healers for that matter. Remember, all of our energy can express in different octaves. So that divine feminine healing Christed consciousness energy, you better bet it can express in its shadow octave as a sex worker. And I live in a particular place where, yes, there are women who are doing this by choice, but there are a lot of women who aren't doing this by choice. This industry is susceptible to so much distortion and oppression, right? But it's because there's that much power within our ability to divinely heal through our sexual energy. So wherever you are experiencing this imbalance and moving back into rebalance in your life, whether it's in your sexuality or whether it's in your relationships, or maybe it presents like it presents for me sometimes as an entrepreneur, my masculine will drive so hard that it can feel challenging to relax and go into a restorative space. I don't feel safe in that space. I feel like my business and my livelihood and my children, my family, and everything threatened. Right? We get in our head, we get in our story. We need a pattern interrupt in those moments. But the reason we get in our head and in our story like this is because we don't feel safe. All right, V, let me know if this is resonating for you. And we're going to work with the root chakra in particular today. I'm going to use my tuning fork. If you would like me to work by proxy on your root chakra, just type yes in the comments. Root chakra is at the base of the spine. It's red in color. It governs our ability to feel safe and secure in life, whether that is in our finances, in our physical relationships, in our emotions, in our emotionality, in our thoughts. Yes, V, Lynn, Marilyn, I see you. Chandra, I see you. Yes. And this is huge, because if you don't feel safe, I'm doing the back body now. If you don't feel safe in the evolution, I see you. If you don't feel safe, allowing protection. If you don't feel safe just allowing, sometimes that's challenging for me too, because I know I do a really good job at things, and so I don't want to let control go. But that can really mess up your ability to manifest, because manifesting is about very specific intention of what you want to create, learning to vibrate to that frequency as if it's happening right now, and then allowing it as it comes into your field. And if you don't feel safe in this allowing, and that's really what our masculine energy does, is what the guides are saying when it comes to manifesting. So we all have masculine, feminine energy. It's our divine feminine energy that taps into the vision and focuses in, zeroes in on the vision. It's our divine feminine energy that feels that feeling and harnesses and holds that vibrational frequency. And then it's our divine masculine energy that goes out and brings that back to us. So if you don't trust your masculine energy, you're probably having a hard time manifesting things in your life. Take one more nice deep breath. Send all of your attention and awareness down into the root chakra. We just did some work there to rebalance this for you all, to feel safe in allowing. This should open up everyone's ability to receive when it comes to your manifestation. So keep me posted on that, okay? Again, I want to talk about the lineage of the magician. So we're transmuting a lot of energy here today. And that transmutation comes from the lineage of the magician. It's alchemy. And for those of you who are interested in activating this archetype, you all have this archetype within you, just like you have masculine and feminine. There is a training that you can get for free on our website. If you are joining us on StreamYard, I put in the comments before. I'm going to put it in one more time. If you're joining us on Instagram, I'll encourage you to go check out the link in the bio. Linktree will have access for you to get to our free resources page on our website. And I want you to go download Activate the Archetype of the Magician. Okay? Roger that? Okay. V, I've had a pattern of masculine disappointing me in every area of my life. Yep, that would make it challenging to allow. So Ho'oponopono might be some good work to do in there as well. I also find that if we can jump our consciousness into the other person's experience and experience from their point of view, not that we have to agree with it, but to experience from their point of view, there is a lot of learning and growth that can happen, a lot of aha moments that are really helpful. All right, so my friend Peter here says, how do you define your why? Why is what makes us feel purposeful on the planet, the guides are saying. And feeling a lack of purpose is disastrous to an individual as well as a culture continues to grow and expand. So when we talk about ancestral patterns, man, if that's something that gets bred into a culture, the energy of uselessness and feeling uselessness in the tribe, you're effed, man. Because we're programmed to be a tribe. We're pack animals. We're programmed to be together. We're programmed to collaborate. We have an instinctual need to be accepted by our tribe. And if we can't show up and provide value or show value and we feel uselessness, woo, that is soul level miscongruence and can mess up everything else about your incarnation here. Okay, so understanding our why is really important. And our why is what brings us fulfillment. I think in this current incarnation of civilization, our why is connected to our service. So what makes us feel fulfilled? And generally that's working in the areas of our highest curiosity, passion, and genius and creativity. Okay. It doesn't look like what you do to get a good, safe job so that you can pay your bills. Sorry, all of you who went for the accounting degree for that reason. It doesn't look like that. We've got to follow a passion. Not generally, they just corrected me. You always know this when you're a child, when you come into the planet. So you can begin to look at or ask your guides, ask your Akashic records right now to help you have memories of your childhood, good memories over the course of the next week where you were engaged in playful, imaginative creation. And get intelligence from that. There are clues, because the little version of you didn't have as many blocks up as the big version of you did. And the little version of you has easier access to that information, especially because the littler version of you likes to play, and play has a lot to do with it as well. Why did I say on this current incarnation of civilization is our why connected to service on the planet? Because there are other ways of doing things. There are other paradigms of construction of a society in other star systems. This isn't the only way that it's done here on the planet. How we procreate, here's another example. How humans procreate, and there's a mom and a dad, the masculine and the feminine. Maybe you've heard this story before. In our society, it's designed mom, dad, not that we all do it this way, and there are lots of different ways to do it. So I'm down with same-sex families as well. There's an example of how we're evolving, actually, and we're not doing it the way that we have always done it before. But how we do it here, where there are a mom and a dad, two parents, they have the kid, you raise the kid. Oh my gosh, 1,000,001 opportunities for things to go wrong along the way. In other star systems, what the procreation of family looks like is more of the village raises the children. Parents are specifically chosen, parents who have been trained to raise up another soul. Man, we're not trained in this society. You're freaking winging it. So I just share that to invite you to begin considering and opening your mind to, there are different ways to do things. And part of why we've incarnated right now, many of us have incarnated from other aspects of the solar system, where we hold codes, meaning experience, memory within our DNA that we're bringing here to this civilization. And when we wake up to that and we begin to trust ourselves and we begin experimenting with different ways of doing things, we tap in and we change the structure of society. Right now, I'll be honest with you, the way that our financial system is set up, where you have to figure out what your job is, what work you're going to do, how you're going to give away your time to get money. It's not the highest design. And when all of our DNA is activated, we will have access to this again. But the highest design is for humans to have the ability to magnetize any resources that we need for our mission here, our desires, our wants on the planet. True story. Okay. But it's not the way it's currently done on the planet right now. It's part of what keeps us enslaved. An aspect of my own transformation, evolution, where I've been able to break free from that, is becoming an entrepreneur and creating my own job. All right, Peter, let me know if that helped on the why. Guys, send some love like hearts across the screen if you got something good out of hearing about the why. All right, let's take one more question today. Do we have one more? Marilyn. Miss Marilyn says, yes, and if it includes re-energizing my environmental business, that would be nice too. Oh, Marilyn was commenting a yes there when we were receiving a transmission coming in. All right, any more questions? If you have any more questions, oh, great. Jayan, thank you for sending in one more question here for us. What are some ways to be more in tune with our intuition? This is a great question. All right, let me tap in and see what the guides want to bring forward. Okay. Intuition is all about receiving energy, and it's subtle energy. So right off the bat, start hydrating like crazy. Water conducts energy. It's one of the reasons that our bodies are made of mostly water. That composition is designed to help us be more intuitive, but the vast majority of the population is dehydrated. So that's the first thing, is drink up. All right, let me see what else the guides want to say. The second thing is stop denying when your intuition is working right there in front of you. Meaning you had a synchronicity. You thought of something and then someone said it around you. Or you had been, what are some other synchronicities? You guys know what synchronicities are. I don't have to keep thinking on the fly of made up synchronicities for you. You can think of your own synchronicities. All right. But we get synchronicities and we dismiss it as coincidence. And when you do that, you're lowering the vibrational frequency. It's like you're turning down the volume on that message that you just got. Like, yeah, I don't really want to hear that. That's okay. You just sit right over there. But what happens if you pay attention? Wow. Oh man, I was just super telepathic. You think of a friend and they text or they call. I tell my kids that all the time because I'm very telepathic with my kids and they're very telepathic with me, which means I'm thinking something and it comes out of their mouth, or they're thinking something and it comes out of my mouth. And every time it happens, I'm like, oh, good telepathy. Oh, good job, psychic. I give them a high five. So drink a lot of water. Stop denying the intuition when it's happening right there in front of your face. All right, let me get one more for you guys. These are good coming in today. I like what the guys are saying. Meditation. Must. 10 minutes of meditation a day. I mean, they say you need 20. They say everybody needs 20 minutes of meditation a day, unless you're too busy, and then in which case you're going to need an hour. But even 10 minutes, you will start to see a difference. And again, intuition is a subtle energy. So we've got to create spaciousness between all of the synapses, neural pathways, all the nerve firing, everything that's firing off inside of our body on automatic, just like our bodies are firing off on automatic to keep working and functioning, right? Our brains, our nervous system, our heart, our circulatory system. Generally, our thoughts are also constantly firing off. We have very little spaciousness or break between our thoughts. And that's the space where intuition will talk to you. So if you don't have that space available, intuition not going to call you up and be like, don't be waiting for that booty call from intuition now, because you're not going to get it. You're not going to hear it. All right. Drink more water. What was the second one? I forgot the second one already. And the third one was no booty calls. All right. Somebody who's paying attention, recap those 3 things in there for us to increase our intuition. More water, meditation. What was the second one they said? Come on, we're about to wrap up for today, but I'm not getting off here until one of y'all remembers. Anybody listening? What the heck, guys? I'm just kidding. All right, let me see if I can get it. I should be able to get it back. I said it. That's has become a synchronicity, or I should say maybe a fun sign for me that when I know when the energy is. Stop denying. Chandra, thank you. Yes. There we go. Yes, Lynn, you guys are listening. Look how happy you made me. I love this. All right. You're excellent students up here in this space. If you want to keep learning and training, go check out that free training that I have left for you guys in our resource page on our website. If you're joining us on StreamYard, you're going to find that in the comments. I just left it for you. If you're joining on Instagram, I want you guys to click the link in the bio. It's my Linktree link, and a whole display of Akashic Academy goodies will open up for you. What you're looking for is free resources. Okay. That's where you're going to find Activate the Archetype of the Magician. I'm so happy that you all have been here with me today. Did you get something good out of this? Give me a yes in the comments if this was valuable for you. And I will encourage you, if it's valuable to you, please share this work out. It not only helps me to share the message of empowerment in the Akashic Records, but the more of us that begin to take our power back, the easier this gets. And I've noticed that over the course of the last decade that I've been doing this work. Yes, thank you all. Thank you. Thank you. The actress in me likes it that you guys are yesing, that you got something good out of this. I feel like you're all clapping for me. Thank you. No, but truly, I've seen a difference in the past decade of doing this work, of how much easier the manifesting is getting, how much easier it is to call forward opportunity, how much easier it is to see my own patterns of incongruency or where I'm not operating in my highest potential and dissect, understand why, and shift and clear it. So I am excited for you all to have that same experience too, because your freedom and the life that you were created to live, it's actually the life that you were created to create. I'll say that is waiting for you. And now is the time. I know that with everything happening in our world, it can be very easy to see the challenge. The distortion in our field makes us feel like we want to give up, but that is the Maya. That is the illusion. We are this close. All right. I love you guys. Thanks for being here.